What's up, friends? This is Jazz bringing you another For Better For Worse vlog number 30, guys. We actually got 30 of these, and just because this is the 30th one, I'm going to make it special. It's going to be 3 strips instead of 2. Now, guys, I'm not going to add each time there's a 10 anniversary. I might have 3 every 10, right? But I'm not going to add like 4, 5, or 10. You know, like, that'd be way too much. Maybe at my 100th, I might add a little bit more than 3. But I'm not going to be completely off the road. So, one of them I'm not 100% sure if I did. If I did, you can comment down below. I apologize, but at least 2 I know for sure are different. Now, the first one comes from February 13th, 1988. And Ellie is very upset. She's like, my car, look at my car. Her car was totaled, I think destroyed. And the guy is the owner, the fixer is like, yeah, snowplow got a couple last night. We'll get her all fixed up for you, ma'am. Or you, ma'am. Ellie's like, poor car, only yesterday she was fine. All in one piece, and now look at her. And John's like, yeah. And John's like, and the most amazing thing of all is, it wasn't your fault. Oh, John. But you know what? It was 1988, so he still has a little bit of leeway. He's still younger than he was, you know, the other strip, where the other video where I said he's almost 50. So he has a little leeway this time, being who he is. But gosh, poor Ellie. Did he have to add salt to the wound? Yeah, oh, amazing, it's not your fault. Well, I guess maybe that is a running joke that Ellie doesn't know about cars, or isn't, you know, careful or something. Like, it's okay, that's not really, it's a running joke with him, not necessarily a running joke in general. I mean, she's not terrible. I mean, there was a time or two she backed into something. There were strips like that, yes, but it wasn't frequent. But hey, you know what? It wasn't her fault. That's amazing, isn't it? Gosh. I mean, no matter what, whether it's your fault or not, it sucks, John. It's a car. It's not like... it's a real car. It's not like something like a mailbox, which, yes, sucks, or even a toy car that gets stomped on or crushed. I mean, yes, it'd be crushing to the child if it was a toy they were close to or attached to, but it's a real thing that costs a lot of money. But I don't know whether the person is fixing it for cheap or free or what, because they don't seem too, well, Ellie is perfectly bothered by it. John doesn't seem too bothered by it. It's still a car technically they both could use, right? It still costs money between the two of them. But yeah, I suppose that punchline was pretty clever. I mean, leave it to John to be the, I don't know the right word. I mean, I think John was the perfect way to end it there, like his punchline, because, I mean, it was an upsetting situation where this could be considered a little bit funny, with John saying in the end. But I mean, the next strip is from December 7th, 2007, so near one of the last year or so, For Better For Worse. And it is Anthony talking to his daughter, Francois. And technically, Anthony is one of Elizabeth's school, you know, crushes or best friends. And at this point, they're dating again after Frances is Anthony's daughter from a previous marriage. That's just... sorry. Had a bit some caught in my throat. He had her from a previous marriage, and he has full custody of her. Actually, Elizabeth went to the baby shower of the wife of Anthony, so she held Francois before as a baby. But anyway, she's upset, right? She doesn't want Elizabeth to go with her. She's like, so you want me all to yourself, do you? And she's like, uh-huh. Like, she's kind of jealous of Elizabeth. You don't want me to be with anyone else? Nope. And then Anthony's like, then I guess we won't be able to go into town tomorrow. I promised Elizabeth we'd we'd have supper, go shopping, and see Santa Claus. And she's like, I want to see Santa Claus. She's like, but Elizabeth would be hurt if we went without her. She might even cry, and Santa doesn't like it when people cry. She's like, okay, she can come. And then Anthony's like, cause and effect. He is so smart. Like, he pretty much made Francois go from, I don't want anyone else with you, I want it to be me and you, or my mother. Like, she, even when her mother, forget her name, I'll get to that later, I promise. Even when her mother had left, she was very young, and even so, even that being said, she wants her mother, alright? She wants her mother to love her. She doesn't understand why she isn't here. I mean, sometimes she sends gifts, her mother does, to her, but she's completely almost absent and tries to avoid her at this point. Now, I don't know if it's because she just wants to avoid Francois. I'll just call her that. I'm sorry if I butchered the name. Or it's the fact that she knows now Elizabeth's in the picture, that she doesn't want to be around Anthony with someone else. I don't know. But either way, she's absent in Francois's life. So, she wants, and her father has always been there for her, been like the #1 man in her life, her constant. And I can understand, in a sense, for a little bit, especially at her young age. Her age is like, what, 3 or 4, maybe. Even though she looks older than that, I know. But she's very young, right? Believe me. She was younger than one of Ellie's grandchildren, which was Meredith. So she's in the middle of Ellie's 2 grandchildren, or Michael's 2 children. And it's just, I think she might be younger than her youngest, actually. I can't really remember, but my point being is that she's young, so it can be understandable the way she thinks, right? And she doesn't trust, really, Elizabeth yet, and that it does change, we'll just say. It does change, but she wants to see Santa so much she's willing to share Elizabeth for that day and not see her cry, so cause and effect, clever punchline instead of cause and effect. Cause and effect. Jeez, Anthony. I mean, who doesn't want to see Santa? Okay, guys, I know I'm 28 years old. I know I'm too old for that, and trust me, as I said, there's probably younger people watching this, so I'm not going to go with any real detail. I know I'm on the adult end of it at this point. I understand, like, everything, right? But really, who doesn't? What kid doesn't want to see? Even as an adult, like, even, we'll just say, knowing things I do, he's a pleasant guy. You know, he's presented as a very pleasant guy, so, I mean, also a very good threat to make kids behave all year. Well, or close to the year, anyway. I mean, who of you remembers, okay, I wasn't always that bad, but, I mean, there was a year or so, and I may have been kind of a brat once in a while, but, I mean, what kid doesn't remember? Who of you don't remember being a little piece of, poop, and last 2 months or so being the perfect saint for you could get your last minute reprieve, right? It happens, right? It happens, and it's hilarious. So, in other words, Francois says, ooh, if I make Elizabeth sad, I might be naughty and I won't be able to see Santa or get something from Santa. Clever, Anthony. Very, very clever. The final strip is from July 12th, again, 1988. And we see 2 people hugging something, and he's like, oh, he's struggling. And John's like, well, it sure was nice of you 2 to help us move that fridge. Sure, no problem, anytime. This is Connie's new husband, the one I was talking about before. Greg Thomas. Sorry, I was trying to think hard about it, do some research. Right, so Greg is her husband, and they leave, and then Greg is like, do me a favor, Connie. the next time the Pattersons call up and say, "Are you guys busy tonight?" ask why. Oh, God. Yeah, that is never good news when someone just simply says, "Are you busy tonight?" I mean, it could be good news. It could be, "Oh, well, do you want to hang out?" Or you want to go somewhere for a coffee or whatever. But it could also mean, "Could you help me fix the sink?" or "Could you help me move something?" Yeah, always ask. Just to be safe, and then you could just make an excuse if they're like, "Oh, well, to move the, oh, I'm sorry, like, I don't know, I mean, unless you're perfectly up to helping, but, I'm not, guys, and I'm not saying never ever help if someone needs help, but sometimes you have physical capabilities, and things that you can't do so easily, without putting yourself out. Poor Greg, I think he pretty much put his back out, even though he was acting, "Sure, no problem, anytime." He's like, "God, chill me." He's able to put on a face, that's for sure. I mean, so we know that Connie is married then within 1988. I was just trying to, and I said, I don't know, I'm a big fan of it, although specifically the older ones, but hopefully once I get the newer ones, right, I'll be able to kind of figure it out, right? But still, yeah. But as I said, like, always, guys, ask why. You would ask, "Are you busy at a certain time?" Like, because it usually does not end well. But anyway, guys, 3 strips today. Holy cow. So if you enjoyed that, and like the idea of every 10 that I do an extra one, give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel and like what you see, please subscribe. It helps this channel a lot. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you know when new videos are coming out. And I will see you guys in my next video.